Hello and welcome. It has been another interesting day of the 2018 FIFA World Cup in Russia. We've had some interesting games, all of which ended 1-0. But we will recap all of those scores and their performances on field, as well as take a look at some of the awesome product you may have seen throughout the day, as well as look at some of the best of social, and of course, give away something awesome at the very end. So make sure you guys stay tuned for that kind of passcode. This is SOCCER.COM Live, and it starts right now. Hello everyone and welcome to the SOCCER.COM Live studio. I'm Cole here with Adam and Martin. Another very eventful day of FIFA action.
Indeed it was.
Somewhat lackluster on the score sheets though. Only 3 goals coming from 3 games today.
3-1 nils.
Yeah, I mean, not a lot that you're going to be seeing on the highlight reels today, sad to say. But, you know, it happens.
But still some big goals for some big strikers. So
yes,
lots to talk about from that perspective.
And we did see the first 3 teams book their tickets to move on as well, or the first 2 teams, I believe. But their official tickets to moving on. But we are going to start today with the last game of the day from Spain-Iran, probably one of the bigger matchups from today. Diego Costa coming in pretty big. How do you think his game was today?
I think he did what he's supposed to do, which is score goals. No matter how it goes in, doesn't matter if it's a deflection, if it's just him being around the ball and putting it in. He's a fox in the box, like we said with Harry Kane. He gets the job done. That's what Spain brought him in from Brazil to do when they made a big deal out of naturalizing him and making him a Spanish citizen. And this is the end goal. This is what they wanted to see in 2014, and they didn't necessarily see it. But now in 2018, it's paying dividends.
Fair enough. And I did notice while we were watching the game today, our own Mr. Adam was standing and applauding as Iniesta was being subbed off. Talk a little bit about his contributions to the game today.
Well, on that goal, especially the way that he brought the ball in from that right flank and drove towards the defense and then played off to Costa was, it was like Iniesta of old. So it's a bit disappointing this is going to be his last World Cup because I get just so much joy from watching him. But he had that. Well, I guess technically maybe it wasn't an assist, but in my mind it was.
Are we calling it assist? We did run a giveaway today on our Instagram page. For those of you who follow us on Instagram, if you don't, sort that out. Go follow us. We did run a giveaway saying if he scored or assisted, we would give away a pair of. I wanted to say CTR 360s
they are
for
not
a second.
I wish.
But Magistas. So I think we're gonna.
It's an assist in
my
eyes.
Do you want to call it, Adam? Giveaways on. Giveaways on.
After VAR review.
Yeah. If you go ahead, go to our Instagram, SOCCER.COM. We'll drop a link in the comments on this YouTube live show. And to make it easy, if you go and see it, like, follow, tag a friend for the chance to win it. We'll close that giveaway tonight, so get on it.
As well in that game, we also saw, I do believe it was the first goal called back by the use of VAR in the tournament so far. Iran, obviously scoring a goal. I mean, they probably deserved it with how well they played today. It was not a performance I expected from Iran, and I don't think Spain expected it either. But it was nice to see that VAR is at least doing its job properly.
Yeah, I think when you see what happened today with the disallowed goal for Iran, this is what VAR was supposed to do. In the past, you could see that go 1-1. Who knows where Spain's going to end up now because of a bogus goal. But now with VAR, although we had that 2-minute delay, in my eyes, it's worth it. And I guess maybe as an American, I'm more conditioned to these stoppages in play. But I think when you get the call right and it doesn't affect the rest of the game like maybe it would in the past, I think that's definitely a positive. And it shows that VAR is definitely a welcome addition to the game.
And Taylor Twillman, of course, today on Twitter took to it and was stating for everybody else to notice that the AR actually got the call right
he did.
Before VAR was brought in to make sure that it was the correct call. And so it was nice to see that the ref, that's a very close call. It's a very tight call to make. And it's very nice to see that the refs are just up to that incredible standard, as well as being, of course, secondly judged by VAR. It was nice to see.
Yeah.
Of course, in the I guess, the first match of the day, probably the second most important, or maybe first, depending on who you root for. Portugal versus Morocco. Portugal slightly outplayed in that game. They did not look like a dominating Portugal that we saw against some of their other teams, and they didn't look like the Portugal we saw against Spain.
Well, I think when you have Portugal, and we saw this in the Euros in 2016, they play to the level of their competition. And I can't say that Morocco's a bad team. They're especially good defensively, as we saw against Iran. Iran, even against Spain, I know they struggled scoring, but they were good going forward, and Morocco withstood that until almost the very end. And so Morocco was the same. We kind of know what they're going to get. Their best player is Mehdi Benatia, who's their center back and captain, center back for Juventus. So I think we got what we expected. I was pretty surprised by how good Morocco was going forward, and I think they probably deserved a result from this. I don't know what you think, Martin.
Yeah, they actually, I think, had it not been for that early strike, I mean, they certainly, actually, in many ways, dominated the game after Cristiano Ronaldo's early goal, and I think that they're a really solid team. I would say, for me, they are the most impressive of the African teams after Senegal that we've seen so far. Senegal probably have a better chance at this point, obviously, of getting out of the group, but Morocco were really good, and they've got some players with some flair that caused Portugal some problems, and obviously Portuguese keeper Rui Patricio made some really good saves to keep them in the game. To keep the 1-0 lead.
So, I mean, Portugal was outplayed by Morocco today, but we can't deny the fact that CR7 is finding the goal almost a little bit easier than maybe he has in past World Cups.
Yeah, stepping up when the occasion warrants it, as we fully expect from Cristiano. I don't think maybe we saw him scoring 4 goals for the first two games, especially with them playing Spain first. But I think this is vintage Cristiano. Even though it's a different style of play than we've seen in the past from him, this is vintage Cristiano.
It is, and it almost goes to show kind of the evolution of Portugal as well, realizing that it's like, in the past, they might not have tried to feed him as much because you had other players that could score like Nani and a few others coming from midfield behind. But now when you look at it, you realize it's like your Cristiano Ronaldo is your striker. He is your main focal point of your attack. Get him involved where you can. And of course, it's a set piece. And you're going to be hard-pressed to find any other professional out there as lethal as he is on a set piece, outside of Sergio Ramos maybe. But from a pure striker's perspective, I mean, he's one of the best set-piece converters, if you will, especially if it's not necessarily a free kick.
So, obviously Portugal and Spain tied their first game. Both had 1-0 wins in their second games. Which team has the best chance of A, winning the group, B, progressing and potentially winning the tournament? Let us know what you think in the comments. Spain or Portugal, which has the best chance of winning the World Cup?
That's going to be interesting. I'm going to look forward.
We'll shout out the best comments later in the show.
And of course, we have to talk about the second game, the middle game of the day, Uruguay versus Saudi Arabia. I'll be honest, a little lackluster in that, but we did see Luis Suarez open up his World Cup account.
Yeah, I think it's good for Uruguayans to see that. You want a guy like Luis Suarez, who might be a little bit of a confident striker, to get that goal and to have some confidence going forward. I think I was a bit surprised by how good Saudi Arabia were against Uruguay, considering how dismal they were against Russia in the first game. But with that said, I think Uruguay had some good attacks. I think they probably should have had 2 or 3. At least Cavani had that one ball to Carlos Sanchez that was just a dime, which should have been finished on the doorstep. But we'll see. I think Uruguay is definitely a team to be worried about if you're going to face them in the knockout stage. I think they have the potential to really do some damage to some of the bigger teams.
For those of you wondering, the winner of that group and the runner-up of that group are going to face the winner and runner-up of the Spain-Portugal group. So we'll see if that's, Russia. Obviously, Russia and Uruguay are going to be coming out of Group A. We'll see which ones face which teams. Obviously, in Spain and Portugal, assuming those are the two teams to come out of Group B. And those could be some really good matchups.
It could, yes. It'll be interesting to see, especially with Russia having that home field advantage, how they fare against either the might of Spain or the power of Portugal. It'll be very interesting to see. I have seen one or two questions come in that I did actually want to pose to the group. From Eric M., who do you think stood out the most for Spain today? Adam, I have a feeling you're probably going to say an Iniesta, but that's just a guess.
I liked Iniesta. I don't know if he was the standout player, but I really liked the way that David Silva played today. I thought he was good in possession, good going forward. Obviously, Costa was lively. You saw Isco being involved in a lot of the attacks. So I don't know if there was really a standout player for me. I'm interested to see what you think, but I think it was more of a team performance today than maybe against Portugal.
I was going to go with somebody from their defensive half, seeing as they actually had to play more defense than maybe they did against Portugal. But actually, David Silva is a very good shout. He kind of goes under the radar sometimes because he's not always in there scoring goals. He's not always in there assisting the goal. But he's very vital in that setup and that creation to the goal. And I think we saw a lot of it today. It almost impresses you even more, the fact that he's been in the Premier League for as long as he has, because, I mean, if you really look at it, Manchester City hasn't been a true, possession-based, attacking-style team until this past year
2 years, right,
with Pep Guardiola. And even then, last year, they struggled with that. And so it's one of those that it really just impresses you that he's able to just come in and just turn it on like that, even though he's been in a different styled league, if you will, for the past couple of years.
I think with when it comes to David Silva, I think while he might not necessarily have sometimes the assist numbers or the goal numbers that like a Kevin De Bruyne would have or Mesut Ozil would have, he's so important in that third and fourth pass before the goal. So he's usually the guy, when you look at chance creation stats, he's usually the guy that's up near the top with Mesut Ozil. But yeah, I mean, I think he was probably a standout player for me.
Definitely. And so we have just wrapped up a lot of what you guys saw today on the field. We're going to take a short break. We'll be right back with you guys with the goal tracker.
The defense and achieved the hat trick. It's one of the tournament's great goals. And this man is rampant now. He might have just won the cup for Germany.
Welcome back to SOCCER.com Live, ladies and gentlemen. I am here standing next to all my favorite footwear with our goal tracker. And of course, sitting on top, where we've actually started breaking it down by silo, we have the Nike Mercurial silo sitting at 20 goals today. Of course, Cristiano Ronaldo adding to that, wearing the Superfly 6. In second place, we have the Adidas X silo sitting at 6 goals, and close behind it on its heels, we have the Adidas Predator 18 sitting at 5 goals. Below them, we have 3 goals apiece for the Nike Hypervenom and the Puma 1, with Lukaku adding to that just a few days ago for Belgium. And then down here on 1 goal, we have the Nike Tiempo, Puma Future, and Nike Magista. Shaping up to, I mean, almost every brand's represented up there today, and I mean, it's shaping up to have, I mean, maybe a few more goals at least across the board. It is quite impressive, though, how the Mercurials really pulled out.
Yeah, now, obviously that includes Vapor and Superfly now in that 20 goals. So, but the 4 Superfly goals were all scored by one guy.
Yeah, so there you go. I mean, you're still sitting 16 goals on the Vapor. That's impressive on its own.
Yeah, very impressive.
I do want to take a quick moment, let you know about some of the deals that SOCCER.com has going on right now. Our first one, of course, being on our footwear. 20% off right now with the code +20. If you are a Gold Club member, of course, you get that extra 10% off from your Gold Club membership. And on top of that, using +20, you'll get an extra 20%. So go online, find a pair of boots you like. I know I have quite a few. Go online, find some you like, use the code +20, save an extra 20%. Also, on our Telstar, the official match ball and everything, of course, up to 30% off right now. But for a short time, we have an extra 20% off on top of that, up to 30% off with the code WCBall20. Again, that's WCBall20, gets you an extra 20% off the already on sale match balls and Other match ball about $96. Of course, we have some of the customization as well. That'll be coming soon for the official matches and everything that you'll have there that you've been seeing on field in Russia. So some nice deals going on.
I think the Telstar has looked really good on field so far.
It has,
performed well. I mean, we've seen some great goals. So
I mean, it's been the ball that's been scored the most goals with.
During the
2018
World Cup.
Exactly.
Our ball tracker.
There you go.
Excellent.
There's
Good.
our ball tracker. Telstar with, I guess, I don't know,
30-something goals.
30-something goals. We'll go 30 or 40-something goals.
Congratulations, Adidas.
There we go. Okay, and we actually are going to talk a little bit now of probably the two boots that stood out just in goals today, the Adidas X. We had Luis Suarez score a goal. We had Diego Costa score a goal. And, I mean, they've been standing out all tournament on field. And so we have, of course, the X18 Plus and the X18.1, both of which look very good.
Yeah, I think it's important now. We've seen Vapor having a lot of goals scored, and over the past few days with Salah and Suarez, we've seen the X18 kind of get started with their goal scoring, with their big names. I haven't tried them yet, so I'm really interested to see how they play. Cole, I have a question for you. What's the difference between the X18.1 and the X18 Plus?
Adam, it's actually a very good question.
Thank you.
So, actually, the X18.1, the best way I can say this is probably most like the F50 Addy Zero that we saw 4 years ago now, I guess, about there. Very lightweight, very minimal upper, very minimal amount of padding to it, so it is kind of you and the ball. No breaking time needed, though. Went straight from box to game. Actually, this is exactly what this pair did. Went straight to box to game for me. On the X18 Plus, you actually have a little bit more padding than you'd expect, but that's because of the laceless nature. And of course, that upper, like we spoke about the other day, is a little bit more structured to add a little bit more lockdown side to side. And of course, this neoprene like strike zone here in the pure cut strike zone offers just a really nice compression fit. One of the things I will say that I'm a big fan of is they have a lot of padding here in the heel. I don't know if you can see that on there. There's a lot of padding here in the heel. I'll see if our camera can zoom in right here. See if I can open that up. There's a lot of padding through the heel here, which actually just goes to just suction cup your foot into the back of the boot. It's actually got a really, really nice fit. Both the 18 Plus and the 18.1 have it. Extremely comfortable, and especially on the laceless model, just adds that extra touch of comfort and just locked-in stability for it. Sorry, I know that's a mouthful for me to talk about, but there really is a lot of technology between the two of them that kind of goes under the table.
I just think that close-up really showed off the beauty of your Ushanka as well. So I would expect those to be flying off the shelves in the coming days.
That's right. We do actually have these online as well. If you guys are fancying my hat as much as I have fancied it, seeing as I've worn it for the past 2 days, the Ushanka on SOCCER.COM. Nice little addition. It is getting quite toasty under here, I will warn you, so could be a good winter hat. Moving on from there, we actually have a few other things. Obviously, SOCCER.COM sells jerseys. Really nice jerseys.
We sell jerseys.
We do sell jerseys.
I've got a good one on right now. I mean,
you do?
What do you guys think of this Peru jersey?
I like it just for the fact that they're in the World Cup.
Yeah, I mean, it's such a classic. The red sash on the white. Umbro. I mean,
Umbro.
You know, soccer fans love some Umbro. And they're going to be playing tomorrow, of course.
So, of course, we'll have
France,
another Battle of the Kits in
which
my
is
mind.
actually, yeah, like you said, a Battle of the Kits. I mean, France's kits are just, I mean, stunning, I think. I think the best Nike, even though I'm an England fan, I think the best Nike kits.
Oh, without question.
With that blue highlight on the sleeves at the home, and then now, do you guys know the official Nike speak for the graphic red and blue little dots there on the
Does
away?
anybody know official Nike speak?
Well, I can tell you it's called hyperspeckle. So there you go. So I mean, but whatever it's called, it looks great. And obviously both of those available right now on soccer.com/France and soccer.com/Peru. You head there, you'll find these jerseys.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the word of the day for today. Hyperspeckle.
Hyperspeckle. Look it up.
It's not the password for the giveaway.
No,
but
it is not.
It's the word to remember.
But if you can use hyperspeckle in a sentence today properly, please let us know on social media because I am very curious to see how that actually goes. But Soccer.com does not just sell jerseys, do we? No, we do not. So since Martin is a big England fan,
oh, thanks very much.
I will hand him the England one. And sadly, I don't know, Spain and Brazil, I don't know if they can go well together.
Okay.
But it's
I don't
okay.
know if I'm really a flat brim kind of guy, but I'll
Oh,
We
man.
can do this.
I will say, I do actually like the soccer balls, though. $15 a piece on SOCCER.com right now. If you guys do like these kind of Federation soccer balls, we have quite a few on there, as well as our kind of a World Cup accessory, if you might, for the hats and kind of the extras, if you like that.
Yeah, pretty much any team that you're a fan of. If you go to soccer.com/that team's name, you'll find a great selection of stuff to support them. If they're going to go through from the group stage, if not, then just
There you go. You have something
still
to remember
support them
them by,
in
yeah.
their wins and their losses.
You got something to remember them by.
I think all of these teams are probably going to go through. We'll see. Hopefully England will.
Probably.
Brazil should do. We'll see those teams' second games in the upcoming days.
Well, yeah, we'll see. Actually, speaking about...
I think I'm going to leave mine on. Is that okay?
That's fine. If
Okay,
I
good.
look like this, you can look like that. Actually, speaking of some of the deals that we have going on right now, we have a World Cup accessories deal going on. You can, I think it's buy one, get one free right now, or buy two, get one free.
Buy two, get one free on a whole range of World Cup accessories. That includes official scarves, like replica trophies, all sorts of things, the mascots and plush mascots. We've got the Panini collection, which
That's
is the
right, yeah.
albums, the stickers. By the way, if you order if you order from soccer.com right now, you're going to find a little gift actually in your order. We're including a Panini sticker pack in every order right now until they run out. So get your order in for a little start off to your Panini collection. And I think you can see up on the screen right now the details of that offer. It is the code is 1 free for the buy two get one free offer on official 2018 FIFA World Cup Russia accessories.
That means, what if I go on and order two Panini albums with some stickers? I get one free, but then
In your order anyway,
yeah.
so you're
There you go. I'm
Right.
like doubling up.
quid's in.
Oh, there you go. I'm ready to go. All right, of course we do have a few more things coming. We had a beautiful showing today by Cristiano Ronaldo.
Shocker.
I know, right? Such a shocker. I wanted to also let you guys know and take another look at the awesome Just Do It pack customization we have right now at soccer.com. This is a pair of their Superfly 6 with the Portugal flag on the back. Obviously for, CR7 today had his game, so we had to pull these bad boys out of our vault. I think they look rather good. I like the customization. I think it's rather unique.
Yeah, I actually forgot to pull out the Portugal away jersey to show it with these cleats, but those of you watching the game earlier and who were following us on Twitter, we actually called out what a great combination that was. The white Portugal away with the white Just Do It pack cleats. They looked great. And then obviously the Portugal customization on the back there of the cleat is just the cherry on top of the cake.
It's almost like, the kit and the boots were made by the same brand.
Yeah.
It's kind of stunning like that, isn't it? How they all match up just perfectly?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Kind of impressive. It's like somebody was really thinking things through. Tell you what. Oh, man. Anyway, we do have some awesome games coming tomorrow. We'll do a quick look at those with France, Peru, Argentina, Croatia, Denmark versus Australia. Which one are you guys looking to the most?
I mean, France, Peru. I want to see France play again because I was a little unconvinced with them in their opening game. And for me, going into the tournament, one of the teams I was most excited to watch with that front three of Mbappe and Griezmann and Dembele. So I really want to see them again. And actually, I was impressed by Peru in their first game, even though they obviously lost. I think that they showed some really nice stuff. And so that game between those two, I think, will be really fun to watch.
I'm looking forward to seeing Croatia. I am interested to see if they can build on their performance a couple of days ago and go on and actually win this group that a lot of people probably didn't pick them to win. But I think they are really important and understated contenders to go deep into this tournament. I think they've got the team mentality to go deep. So I think when we see them play tomorrow, if they can solidify their position at the top of the group, that's what I'm interested in seeing, and if they can, we'll see where they can go from there.
See, I'm going to be your opposite tomorrow. Obviously, I'm wearing the Argentina jersey today. I'm looking forward to seeing if Argentina will turn it around. I think that they're going to get more. I think they might come out tomorrow.
Time for a couple of questions.
Why not?
Okay, so we want product ones here. Joseph Soifer says, Puma 1 versus Puma Future.
Ooh, that's honestly, that's going to be down to personal preference. Obviously, the Puma 1 featuring that kangaroo leather upper, synthetic midfoot and heel, it actually is taking some inspiration from the Puma Future with the fuse fit around kind of that collar area, so you can like, customize the lock down to the flare. I do really like the plush on one, but I'm more of a Future player. I love the way that thicker looking Future. I like thin synthetic. I like being able to adjust the laces any way you need. Personally, I lean more towards the Future, but if you like a very comfortable boot, obviously Lukaku's gone for that. He's kind of tossed himself around in the boot market and finally ended up in the One. If you're looking for a comfortable boot, the One's definitely a good shout.
Yeah, I just dropped in the comments, in the YouTube comments, the playtest that you did with those boots, Cole, that looked at the One versus the Future. So if you're interested in that, go check out the video after the show's over. And then we've got one more question, comes in from Mandy Paget. She says, Cole, that hat, why?
Well, let me tell you why. I wore a hat to the office today, and it's not one that we sell, and so I wanted to make sure that we have something on that not only I look good in, but also keeps my head nice and toasty.
There you go.
Good enough.
There we go. Alrighty, and we are actually going to take a quick break and be right back with you guys with some of the best of social from today. Hello everybody and welcome back to SOCCER.COM Live. Cole here with Adam and Martin. Hello. And it is time for the best of social. First up today we have this from True Media Networks. Paul Carr retweeted today, obviously the well-respected journalist. Cristiano Ronaldo at the World Cup. Pretty freaking impressive, if I don't say so myself. From 2006 to 2014, he had 3 goals on 70 shots. But in 2018, he has 4 goals on only 10 shots. That's very impressive. Nearly 10 years of World Cups, scored only 3 goals.
I mean, he's just playing lights out right now.
Well, and then also when you look at where the shot chart shows that he's shooting from, that shows a little bit more of a like experience that he's choosing not to shoot from 35 yards out. So, yeah. Yeah,
you can definitely see that he's starting to realize inside the 18 might be a little higher percentage of scoring.
That's where he belongs.
There you go. Next up on our list today, we have this one from, I believe it is Fox. That's right, yeah. Dream Big Iran. Adam found this one today.
Yeah, I think it's cool that some of the smaller nations are definitely bringing very big supports. You see Iran bringing good support today. You saw Senegal bringing great support yesterday. So I just thought this was a cool part of some of the World Cup culture. And in Iran today, we saw women entering the stadium for the first time ever to watch a broadcast of the game in the stadium in Tehran. So
big progress there, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, first time in 37 years. So
our next one on the list from Squawka Football, from talking about Luis Suarez today. He scored more goals for Uruguay than any other player in the nation's history, scoring his 52nd goal on his 100th cap. So another congratulations to Luis Suarez there. Of course, following up there, we had Soccer.com's tweet today. Goal, Luis Suarez scoring 100th game for Uruguay. Perfect way to mark it, helping Uruguay take home 3 points.
It's an impressive strike record.
That's an impressive tweet as well.
Yeah,
I don't
very,
know who
very
put that
strong.
out, but that's some good tweeting.
Very well done, Martin. Very well done. And of course, our last one for the day, again coming from Squawka, VAR causing some drama in Kazan, the same stadium that VAR was actually used for the very first time in Austria versus France. Pulls out another great stunner.
Yeah, I think when you look at, we talked about it, VAR is working, and some of the reservations that we saw with it aren't really coming to fruition, which is definitely a good thing from our perspective. If we can just figure out how to work with the fans in the stadium to get it to be 100% effective, then we'll be in a good spot.
Definitely, it's especially if it's going to start taking over some of the other leagues. We've already seen it implemented in MLS. We've seen it implemented, of course, in
Bundesliga.
Bundesliga, I believe, is is the Italian league?
Yeah,
Is
I think
Serie A using it?
is also started to use it.
Yeah, eventually, I mean, we might end up seeing it all over the globe. So it's nice to see that it is working in certain instances. I'll be curious to see if it continues to receive high praise for the rest of the tournament as well. As we are starting to close here, I do believe we have something to give away.
We do indeed.
That's right.
In honor of Luis Suarez's first goal in the World Cup, and well, Diego Costa scored in
wearing the X's as well. Yeah.
So we're going to give away a pair of Adidas X18 cleats. All you need to do is head over to soccer.com/Adidas/X. We will drop that link in the comments to make it super easy for you, and sign up on the form that's on that page, including the password, which is pistolero. Adam, is that the correct pronunciation?
Pistolero.
Excellent.
I'm no pronunciation expert, but...
Well, that is Luis Suarez's nickname, I believe, or one of them.
It is.
So we are giving those cleats away right now. You have about 24 hours, just under, to go ahead and get in there and do that.
Go for it. Do it, everybody. They're great boots. I've worn them a few times. Let's see. Do we have any more questions coming through today?
Well, we've had a few more questions. A lot about the hat call. So we dropped the link in for people to
thank you.
To buy that if they so choose. We did get a question which was Superfly versus Vapor from Eric M. I'm guessing you're going to say that's personal preference about the dynamic fit collar. Essentially the same boot, but just the collar is different.
Actually, exactly the same boot.
Why don't you give us your which do you like the collar or not?
Personally, I don't like the collar, but I'm gonna wear the Superfly. It doesn't really inhibit anything. And personally, I found the upper of the Superfly a little bit softer than that of the Vapor, and so.
Soccer's preference, right?
That's right.
I'm on Vapor, so.
All right.
Always with the low cut.
I go one on one foot, one on the other.
I like that move.
Yeah.
I've seen Sergio Ramos do that before in training.
You're the player that gets slid tackle in Sunday League, aren't you?
And they're absolutely different colors.
As long as they're both bright, even better.
Of course.
Anyway, that's everything that we have for this episode of Soccer.com Live. Thank you guys for joining us with the action. Adam, Martin, thank you guys again for joining me here.
That's cool.
Thank you.
As always, make sure you guys watch all of the action tomorrow for another day of the World Cup. And of course, you guys can interact with us on social media and again tomorrow during Soccer.com Live in our chat. That just about wraps it up. That's everything for the day. We will see you guys tomorrow for another episode of Soccer.com Live.